My name is Aden. Listen carefully to my story. Do not miss any part because this story is very special. It will touch your heart, make you feel deep emotions, and in the end, you will understand something beautiful about life. One day, I was walking down a quiet street. The air was fresh, and the birds were singing. The sun was warm, and everything felt peaceful. But then, I saw something that changed my life forever. A little boy, maybe 7 years old, was sitting on the side of the road. His clothes were torn, and his face looked tired. He was holding a small piece of bread, but he was not eating it. Instead, he was looking at a small puppy sitting beside him. The puppy was weak, shaking, and hungry. The boy broke his little piece of bread into two. He gave one half to the puppy and kept the other half for himself. I stood there, watching. My heart felt heavy. This boy had almost nothing, yet he was willing to share. I walked up to him. "Hey, are you okay?" I asked gently. He looked up at me and smiled. "Yes, I am okay." I sat down beside him. "Why did you give your food to the puppy? You are hungry too." The boy looked at the puppy with soft eyes. "Because he is more hungry than me. He cannot ask for food, but I can, so I will find more later. But he needs it now." His words hit me like a wave. A small child who had so little had a heart big enough to care for someone else. I felt something in my chest, something warm and painful at the same time. I took out my wallet and handed him some money. "Here, take this. Buy some food for yourself and the puppy." But the boy shook his head. "I cannot take this, sir. My mother says we should only take what we need. And right now, I only need this little bread." Tears filled my eyes. I was looking at a boy who had almost nothing but was richer than many people in the world. His kindness, his love, his selflessness, this was true wealth. I could not just leave him like this. "Let me buy you some food," I said. "Not just for you, but also for the puppy. Please." The boy looked at me for a moment, then nodded. "Okay, but only a little." We walked to a small food shop. I bought him a sandwich, some juice, and a small bag of dog food for the puppy. He smiled so brightly that my heart felt full as he ate. I asked, "Where is your home?" The boy looked down. "We had a home, but my father passed away. My mother works hard, but sometimes we do not have enough money for food. So I come here to look for work." My chest tightened. Life had been so unfair to this little soul, yet he still smiled, still cared for others. I decided to do something. "What if I help your mother get a job?" I asked. The boy's eyes widened. "Really? You would do that?" I nodded. "Yes, because you have taught me something very important today." He tilted his head. "What did I teach you?" I smiled. "You taught me that kindness is the most beautiful thing in the world." The boy grinned. And at that moment, I knew I had met someone truly special. I found his mother and helped her get a stable job. Their life slowly became better. But the thing that stayed with me forever was the little boy's heart, a heart so pure, so full of love. Life is not about how much we have. It is about how much we give, how much we love. Days passed, but the memory of that little boy never left my heart. I often visited him and his mother. She was now working at a bakery, and the boy was going to school. His puppy, whom he named Lucky, was growing strong and healthy. Every time I saw them, they smiled brighter, and it filled my heart with joy. One evening, I saw the boy sitting outside his small home, looking up at the sky. His puppy lay beside him, his little tail wagging happily. I walked up to him and sat down. "What are you thinking about?" I asked. The boy turned to me and smiled. "I was just thinking about my father. He used to sit with me like this and tell me stories about the stars. He said that when good people leave, they become stars and watch over us." I looked up at the twinkling sky. "Do you think he is watching over you?" The boy nodded. "I think he is proud of me, and I think he sent you to help us." His words made my heart ache, but they also filled me with warmth. This child, despite all the pain he had been through, still believed in love, in kindness, in something bigger than himself. "You know," I said, "sometimes we meet people who change our lives, but sometimes we are the ones who change theirs." The boy smiled and looked down at Lucky. "I think Lucky changed mine. When I found him, I was sad and lonely, but he made me feel happy again. Maybe that's why I wanted to help him." I reached out and ruffled his hair. "You have a big heart. The world needs more people like you." The boy laughed. "Maybe one day I will help someone the way you helped me." His words stayed with me. That night, as I lay in bed, I thought about how a simple act of kindness could change a life. I had started by giving a boy food, but in return, he had given me something even greater: hope, faith in humanity, and the reminder that love still exists in this world. Months passed, and I continued to visit them. One day, I saw something that made my heart swell with pride. The boy was standing outside a small shop, holding a sandwich. He was talking to another child, a little girl with worn-out clothes and sad eyes. Without hesitation, he broke his sandwich in half and gave one part to the girl. I watched from a distance, my eyes filled with tears. He was doing exactly what he had done that first day I met him. He was spreading kindness, and in that moment, I realized something. We all have the power to make the world a better place, not by doing big things, but by doing small things with great love. So, my dear listener, if this story touched your heart, let it be a reminder. Kindness is not just a word, it is an action. And every small act of love creates ripples that can change the world. If you believe in the power of love, if you believe in spreading kindness, then like this story and subscribe, because together we can share more stories that make people feel, think, and love a little more every day. And remember, the smallest act of kindness can make the biggest difference. Be that difference.